Hello. Good afternoon. Not quite the evening. What's up? What's up? Hey, Quadro. Unformed candy. It's a hell of a long time, my friend. 53 months with Prime! Exclamation mark Prime. Never forget. Most important command. But maybe the second most important today, after exclamation mark tickets, of course. Exclamation mark tickets. Thanks though, Unformed Candy, 53 months, Matt Amoroso, 18 months, and Benjamin, a year with us. Year and a half from Matt. Thanks everybody. Some new sub badges there, and all with Prime. All with Prime. Hey Momshog. What's up, Chicken Pants? R. Hudson. Picker, hello. I didn't quite make it there, Chicken Pants. It really shut the city down though. Like it was a lot. I think the last week, but still till the end of the month is gonna be, I mean, just so busy in Toronto, and it's in a lot of major cities, but Toronto right now. Matthew 129. When's the last time you watched the stream, bud? You've been here for a while. We've been out of Toronto or out of Calgary for a year plus. Hello, Hybe. Violin, we'll see you in Paris. Is that right? You got a ticket confirmed? Looking forward. Yeah, we are starting our EU tour in Paris at a really cool event location, which is a place that Blitzstream recently did a, I guess, a Blitzstream Cup. It's like his event that he organized for the second year in a row. It's like an esport kind of venue. It's really cool. So that'll be really exciting. But there are tickets available for it now. We're going to be meeting up with Blitzstream. It'll be like a meet and greet, hang out. There'll be probably a stream live commentary, IRL sub battle, some other fun formats. But obviously, we'll be all over Europe. So hope that most of you find a chance to join us, at least at one of the events. Well, Picker, I don't think there'll be tickets for the Berlin part. So a little bit easier on that end for you. But don't be shy. I've done a bunch of meetups and met a lot of the people from the channel, whether it's been in our like chess camps, at tournaments. There's been a lot of trips we've taken where we've met people from the channel, and I have to say, it's usually been good vibes. So most people from the channel are really cool, easy to hang out with, and I certainly encourage people to make the effort to come out to some of these events, because everything we've hosted in the past has been pretty successful and pretty fun. Hey, Brandon. What were you in Paris for? Yeah, so I've been there once before. We're probably going to go back at some point, I think. Very cool, right? That's the thing about Europe. They have these like beautiful parks, like locations where people play chess. I mean, they have them in North America, but honestly, I think it's a different level. Different level in Europe. Hello to J-Bell. What about you, Mr. J-Bell? Which part of the EU tour will you be attending? People probably want to confirm their trip around you, J-Bell, so it's important to disclose, you know? Hello to Amanda and Reality Pizzas. Hello, ladies. 28 months, Amanda, and good luck, Amanda, with your following in my footsteps. Yes, as a professional poker player. Best of luck, best of luck. 27 months from Reality Pizzas. Welcome back with Prime. Hello to Kilimanjaro. Brendan, thanks for the tier 3 14 months there again. +1 for a wedding, a few nights in Paris. Sounds like it wasn't a bad time. Truly. That doesn't sound like anyone was too upset. I gotta spend some extra days in Paris. Shoot. Hey, Tristan. What's up, chess lover? Midlife Gaming, you're welcome in Amsterdam. Thank you. We used to live very close to Amsterdam. Spent some time in the Netherlands. Obviously, you know, we've got good buddies in the Netherlands, like Yasser, like Robin. Bigfoot's from the Netherlands. Chess Voodoo, thanks for the 16-month resub. Baz Maniac, good to see you. 32 months from Baz. Thanks for the Prime, buddy. Guardian EU, 10 months with Prime. Guardian, speaking of EU, are we going to see you in EU? Thanks for the 10. Min Striker, 28 months with Prime. Thanks, Min Striker. Thank you, Benjamin. It's, it might not change for another 5 years, so you better get used to it. Anyone want to play some more Muff games? Exclamation mark challenge. Because I still want to tell you guys about the ticket situation, about the tour situation. Some of the things we have planned. Should be a lot of fun. ZX, that'll be awesome. It's good to see some people confirm for different parts of the trip. I think if I'm not sure, because I could never actually say this with certainty, which one will be the most popular, or which will be the most well attended. But it feels like, you know, Berlin has some great energy behind it. Germany. There'll definitely be people at all of them. So some people are going to maybe even be there for all 4 parts of the trip. Some people are going to come, you know, just for a couple cities. Some people can only make it to one part, but regardless, it'll be pretty enjoyable. But Berlin seems to have the most energy right now. But if I'm honest, the plans for what we have planned in Paris are honestly probably the most significant. I don't know if I can say that word, but it's the most exciting for me because, you know, we're meeting up with Blitzstream, we're renting some really cool venues, and we're doing things like IRL sub battles, having the stream going with live commentary. So I think I'm most looking forward to Paris, but that's probably because it's first. And once Paris is over, I'll be pretty excited to go to the next place. So I'm just excited to get the show on the road, as they say. Just drop me in EU. I'll find my way around. T Boyles, thanks for the 21 months. And Ralph or the Dwarf, 35 months. Nearly 3 years. Thanks, man. All right, let's see how poorly, let's see how badly your chess skills have deteriorated, Brendan. Spending time with ladies in Paris. Have to have gotten worse at chess. Okay, give it a bit of volume for you there, Matt. Sure. We're not going to be in Ireland, no. You can do exclamation mark Europe. Oh. All right, I'll fall for it, as they say. I will fall for it. Yeah, if you want to know where we're going to be, exclamation mark Europe outlines our trip. Hello, MSXY.org. MSXY.org. Are you going to be in Europe joining our EU tour? Oh, we got commands in there. Eric's in the chat. Exclamation mark London. Things are getting confirmed as we're talking here. Queen here, rook d1, maybe h3. Those are the kind of moves I'm looking at. Who's Rusty Butter? Whose food are you talking about? Is it time for this? Okay. Take back. Knight has to move, and I would probably put it somewhere there. Yeah. There's something slightly unfortunate for my opponent here. We're going to take. And, you know, if the queen takes back with aspirations for checkmate, then I was a little concerned about this. As for this move, very high energy, I have to say. Slightly concerning based on some moves that I can play here, but I respect it. I definitely do. This one or this one seem to be the best ideas. I'm pretty drawn to this. So, you know, we want to take here, we want to deliver a mate. And this one, I'm probably in there with the sacrifice, I think. All right, we gotta go for it. Check. Okay, still alive here, isn't he? Might need to be this one. We basically want to check over here, and then the rook has to block, and we go ahead and take the rook. So I think this one is this is the move. Check. Let's take here. Now we have a check. And we have this rook, which is still hanging. And of course, the queen can't block either. I'm really going to have to ask. I'm going to need a detailed explanation from Brendan as to what this opening was. Unless anyone in chat has the answer. Have you ever in your life seen this opening? I will be honest and say that I haven't. I haven't. Played a lot of chess games. Never seen it. What the heck is this? I need to know. Explain yourself, Brendan. Trying to get me out of book? Yeah, it worked. Give you that. I was not in book. So, got to give you some credit, I suppose. 23 moves is a new record. Damn. You telling me you put forth a better game than usual after all the Paris trips? Well, there you go. That's another reason you guys should join us in Paris for our EU tour. It's getting to be, you know, scary close. Like, it's really coming soon, guys. When do we leave for the tour? Pretty much around a week and a half from today. Pretty exciting. Paris is happening truly in about a week and a half. And then we'll be Paris, London, Berlin, Barcelona for about 2 weeks. And the tickets for the first part of our trip, the Paris part, our first event, IRL sub battle. That's coming up first, and you can buy tickets for that already. Baz Maniac, by the way, while we were playing that game, big shout out to Baz Maniac, who wants to get the energy going, support, gift some subs, but you know what he did? He went right on over to Kick and gifted some subs there. And boy, does that make a difference. Thank you very much, Baz Maniac. 10 Kick subs. Appreciate you, buddy. Someone help the guy in the song. Yeah, he's been... Poor guy, we've been ignoring him. MLP Twilight, do we prefer Kick subs? I mean, plain and simple, if you guys got a Prime, always remind you, and there have been lots of Prime subs today, re-sub with your Prime. But when it comes to gifting subs, there's a huge difference when they're gifted on Kick and Twitch. So, yes, MLP, and if anyone's curious, so much more of the support that you guys are trying to send us actually goes to us when it happens on Kick. So, it definitely adds up, and I think it's pretty significant, which is one of the reasons we switched over to Kick, and one of the reasons that we do remind people that it's enough to matter. Absolutely. Let's get another game here. All right, R. Hudson. That's correct, Dark Shear. Yeah, 95.5 to 50-50. It's a pretty big deal, right? I'll copy you, R. Hudson. You seem to know what you're doing. Are they the same price? Yep. They're the same price. The difference is how much of the price we see versus the company sees. Like, for example, Twitch or Kick. Thank you, Mr. Mojo. Very, very appreciated. Mr. Mojo knows what's up. Thank you for the $2.50, bud. 29-month resub from Mr. Mojo. Oh! R. Hudson gets hit with the body slam from the top rope. All right, I'll take. Material's material. We ain't scared of his dark square bishop. Oh. Hang on a sec. You're letting me keep it. I feel like I should say thank you. I should be saying thank you. Oh, and you're not even going to take my pawn. R. Hudson, what am I missing here? Far too kind. Far too kind. Thank you to Back Rank Jank, by the way. That's not just a Prime sub, but a brand new one as well. Thank you to Back Rank Jank. Fresh Prime. King D3. So many moves to potentially do here. Take. Keep it really simple. What's the belt for in the background? Oh, you mean you don't know about the belt? Are we being for real right now? Check. King here. It's like we get our mate, but very, very, very slowly. Oh, that might speed things up. King there, I tell you. You really do want to get mated, don't you? Or Hudson. GG. Oh, hello to GM Yasser Sarwan. You've come over to Twitch to kick it with us, Yasser. Yasser, you should have seen it. Someone was joining our Kick channel the other day. I don't know how many people were here for that, but it was crazy. He was impersonating you. It was the... Just want to let you know, there are imposters out there that are trying to soil your good name. But don't worry, we interviewed him thoroughly. Yasser, we wanted to get to the bottom of it. We gave him the full cavity search. Good luck, Stan. Magnus Carlsen's Coke dealer with a gifted sub. Ah. Could have sworn that Danny and Magnus had the same one, but could be mistaken. Frog Power 12. I like that. Power 12. The 1-2s like the R. Good stuff. The Frog Power. Let's go here, and of course we anticipate a checkmate blunder. This line, I tell you, it's been treating us well, but it's gotten to the point where everyone knows this line now. Doesn't work like it used to, you know? Doesn't work like it used to. Everyone's wise to this variation now. Can't have that. But yes, Yasser, we are over on Kick, kick.com/chessbra. We still do some streams here on Twitch. You know, we want to let people know where they can find us, Yasser. So we definitely still do a lot of streams here, but the large majority of our streams happen on Kick. So that's why we encourage people like yourself and those in chat to make a Kick account and join us there, because that's where the real action's gonna be. This is the type of pawn that I'm not taking. And I'm not taking it to make a point. To take a stand against Yasser. I did take the pawn, Yasser, right? Pawn takes here. That's the one you wanted, right? I can listen. Done and done. Okay, let's grab this. We've got the 2 bishops and no pawns to the good. Just the way I like it. Free fly skydiver. What's up, buddy? You're disappointed in the transition. Now, is that a comment about the chess on the screen? About us moving to kick? Or a reference to Pride Month? Many, many options, and I don't know which one you're referring to. Please clarify. Okay, this looks like it belongs here. Guests arrive. Good day, everyone, says Yasser. Well, thanks for dropping by and saying hi. Always nice to have a visit, Yasser. Looking forward to you joining us on Kick later this evening. What set is this? This is a one I've been playing lately. Our gal, Anfisa. This is an unfortunate move because it just means that I get to kind of get out of this issue, which is knight takes here. And I'm not sure I really deserve to get out of it. I think the best move is this, but I think I can get away with this. We'll go here. And if the knight takes, then I'm actually thinking we have a forced win. Let's go f3, save the pawn. Maybe? Kind of a weird move, but let's go back. Probably want to take. GG Stan. GG. The only reason I moved my queen is I wasn't sure, based on the pre-moves, if his king would end up on G2 and go to H1. So I didn't want it to be stalemate. GG Stan. Stan the man. Hey, Keen 2H, thanks for the tier 3 17 months. What's up, Mr. Johnny? Couple years from Zarthus, new sub badge as well. Zarthus 77, thanks, man. Jumeri, going on year 3, 25-month 3 sub. Johnny DJ. EU trip should be fun, sir. Should be very, very intriguing. I'm hoping that everyone enjoys. Johnny's been busy bouldering. We might need to, what's the Fontainebleau? Might have to get the boys out there on the rocks. Yep, maybe day trip to make Johnny have FOMO and show up in EU. Hello to Mr. Bach. Free fly skydiver. Stream every day and then it stopped? Well, it's still pretty much stream every day. Just not a stream every day here. But still pretty close to that, free fly skydiver. Just large majority of our streams obviously are on Kick now. I mean, it's a very similar experience when you think about what's being provided. But I tell you, the reaching into pockets, 50-50 split skydiver is, yeah, it's just rough. It's a little much. You know, you have those, even a guy like yourself, you know, the support that comes in from you, sometimes only half of it reaches us. And it's a lot better in that sense on Kick. So we're trying it out. We signed a deal, and that's where we're hanging. We still stream the same amount, probably a little more actually. French, okay. Bishop d3. The most random line in the French. Little bit more interesting, more double-edged. We'll play this one. I'm not sure we want to take that, actually. Surprisingly. Let's not. I'm going for e4. My opponent's going for c5. I feel like I don't actually want to help the knight get out. Obviously, it's not nice to have my king here, but with the queens off the board, I'm hoping it's a little bit more pleasant to survive. e2, c3. Rook a4. Tripping over. We do have our tickets on sale for the first part of our trip, our big EU trip. I think we want to, like, just go here. Bring the king up. I know it's important to get developed here, but I kind of like that idea. This is also nice, though. Just because it hits the pawn as well. Grab this. Hmm. All right. We have a little spot we can run to. Yeah. Check, and unfortunately mate to follow. It looks like you have an escape square, but covered. GG fish. I think you won't be surprised to know that your position was better at the beginning. You played bishop b5, which is definitely not a good move. Maybe not completely losing, but felt like there were a few ways for you to be a little bit more precise attacking those queenside pawns at the start. Pro looks like he could slam a smoothie. You talking about me? I'm always up for a smoothie, you know? All right, Buck81. Let's go for a game or two. Hope people are getting excited for the EU tour. Rasner W, thanks for the brand new Prime. I think we called out Mr. Mojo earlier. Jaximus Primus 01. Thank you for the 7-month Prime. T Boyles 3, 21 months. High Life Chess, thanks for the 7 months. Keen JMM, appreciate the 4 months from you. And Swinger Birch is 74. Welcome back. 17 good ones. All right, I like it. We're getting, I'll go D5. We're getting Stonewall. You guys are familiar with this opening, right? Shouldn't be earth-shattering. Castle into it. The Wonstall, that's right. So I'll do something that I've talked about in my Stonewall series, which is released on YouTube, by the way. Still going. In fact, I think we're right around Buck81's rating in the YouTube uploads. No idea what that is, Rusty Putter. No idea. Okay. It's looking like a, F6 kind of angle. I'm going to start like this. Ooh, okay. He's giving me the E-pawn here. Start by trying to kick the knight out. This, I think, is a little bit too much. Definitely going to work on keeping this pawn. We move back. Can this happen? It's probably the only consideration. I will go f5. Yeah, just keep the e pawn. Not allow f5 by white. Yes, we'll lose our bishop pair here. So I'm hoping that we'll find some compensation. We gotta move the knight. Yeah, let's just go here. Okay. I think I want to play this. Because I'd like to play this and not allow c4, right? And let's go for... This is a new set. Let's see how it is. Yeah, I'd like to do this and not allow that. G4, high energy. Oh, respect, respect. Hey, Heavy Kevy. That's a great username. Heavy Kevy. Heavy Kevy is an iconic username. This can always kind of be defended, which is a little bit reassuring. As soon as the h-pawn moves, my knight gets a great home on g4 as well. I like this move. Can't really move the rook without giving up that pawn, so something needs to be done. I'm so greedy. Look at me, taking that pawn. Can't believe myself. Oh no. Wait, we won that on time? No way. Buck 81. You know, sometimes the key is like, yes, you have the speed. Yes, you get a bunch of pre-moves going, but once in a while, you just kind of stop and assess the situation, and there might be like a, for example, here, free queen. Not easy to do, because we're both pre-moving, but if you have a little bit more time than me, sometimes you can do a bunch of pre-moves and then take a second, and you know, you have 4 or 5 seconds. I only have 2. I pretty much have to pre-move, whereas it's not clear you do. You were out of YouTube moves. I thought you played the opening pretty well, right? The setup. You allowed my knight to get to e4, which, okay, to some degree you can't prevent. But still, Like, I think you did pretty well here. Can't complain about this, man. Bazmaniac, maybe in a couple hours. Yeah, something like that. You were out of YouTube moves. That's a good line. Good line. Yeah, we are right around your level. I don't know if you've been watching them, Buck81, or if you just remember from the live streams, but we are right at your rating, I'm pretty sure. Java Bandit is another Stonewall enthusiast, so wouldn't surprise me to see the collaboration there. Hello to Michael. Mike, it's nice to see you here on Twitch. I don't know what variation this is, but okay, you wanna go for this? It's interesting. Well, I have to play this. Like I have to find out what's going on here. Okay, aren't we just up a pawn here? Slash maybe more? Low zooted. Okay. So wait, what's the damage here? I'm up 2 pawns. This should be great for me. Far too kind. Knight b3. I think it might be b6 time. I mean, b6 against the knight there is a fantastic way to handle it. And although it allows this, I think we can play bishop d7. Yeah. Here, knight e5. And although we're actually okay there, it does make me wonder. Yeah, I think we are actually all right there. Because normally I would say this is a little scary because of knight e5, but we do have rook c8. Because the safe move is just bishop here. You know, clearly the bishop wants to go there, but this is kind of annoying. But I don't actually see, after I go here, and he goes here and I go there, I don't see how he adds more pressure to that knight. Takes, we're actually threatening knight e5, right? Now I think he's got to capture. All right, so there's knight h5 and knight e8. Knight h5 looks pretty okay here. Because we want to move the rook and then maybe play g6 or something. I think we can do this. Take. We still got those 2 pawns, which is why kind of feeling good here. All right, good stuff, good stuff. Might be a bishop c7 angle. Threatening this, I want to take control of the d file as well. If bishop here, then rook d7 could be played. So I'd rather do this where we definitely don't let the rook into our position. And now h2 will be hanging in a lot of lines. As soon as the rook moves, this is also hanging, but we want to play g6, bring the king up, e5, stuff like that. Been nice to play after that. Just push these pawns, I think. Green Jaguar, thanks for the resub, 7 months. Might make it to Paris, eh? That would be awesome. We'll see you there. The pawns are going to march in soon. And finally, we're not going to miss this one. With the rook on d6 previously, at least my opponent could do one of those moves. But now we'll get the actual material. No strings attached. Not going to allow that. GG. Some sub Monday type of thing? No, just me passing the time, getting some games in, warming up, and letting you guys know about our EU tour. Some more info. There's an exclamation mark London command, exclamation mark tickets for Paris. Dates are all released for Paris, London, Berlin, Barcelona, exclamation mark Europe. So just lots of things to share. It is not an alt. What's up, cuz? Big confirmation. Big cuz. Looking forward, buddy. Exclamation mark London. That's right. Just so you guys know where to find us. Where we'll be. All right, a couple more games. A couple more. Mike is playing from Kick Jail. He's on, he's allowed to roam the yard here on Twitch. Okay, let's see the old London here. Okay, it's looking rough. Not gonna lie. It's looking like a brutal London. Okay. What's the trick here? Get me real interested in that move, I'll tell you. I mean, we can take the queen and just be up a pawn here, but is there better? I'm not so sure that there is. We'll take the advantage. The small advantage. I mean, it's a totally free pawn, so we're definitely happy. But I was wondering if there might have been something a little better there. Tasmaniac, wouldn't you say that with most of your... Whenever you have to ask that question, isn't the answer usually yes? Let's be real. Okay, rook here, we got that. Rook here, we got that. I'm hitting him everywhere. No, Sleazy. We had a fair and square match. Mike and Tim. Just a fight to the death. Hey, Riblet. No, it's not. It's actually a separate company. Let's make sure to get this move in. But from my understanding, they actually work together, which is kind of interesting. Odds Jam is maybe you've heard of it on its own, but they basically yeah. You kind of have an idea, but I think the easiest part to understand about Odds Jam is the positive EV bets that they'll spit out for you. So you subscribe on like a monthly basis to Odds Jam, and they'll point you in the direction of where the value is on various sports books. Let's pin this. This looks pinnable. Yeah, that's a rook for me. That's for me. A rook for a pawn. I mean, I'll take it. Good trade. Good trade. Yeah, there you go, RDP. That should hold you over. Check. After king here, I think we need some more support here. Maybe this one. I know the knight's hanging, but we want to keep our knight, because then we can actually deliver some hurt. This one maybe should have gone there. I wasn't exactly sure what we wanted to do just yet. Let's give a check. Just probably take this. Great game, Michael. Ah, good game, bud. Michael Hawk 9. I did buck 81. Sorry about that. I was in a tough battle with Mike Hawk, as you know. Those have unpredictable finishes. Thank you for the 5 subs. 5 kick subs. Kick cinco. And very appreciated, especially when those take the extra step to ensure to gift those subs on Kick. Thanks a lot, Buck81. Hello, Alex. Castling is for betas. Brendan, thank you. Look at that. Haven't seen too many of those tier 3 KOs. The gold KOs. That's where it's at. I'm going to play one more. Just one more. Then we'll call the warm-up over. We've talked about the trip enough for now. All right, skinny cuz. Hey, Josh. The quadro. Miha. Probably in a couple hours, I would say, Miha. Yeah, hopping over to kick for the evening stream. Knight C3. Another battle here with cuz. E4. Not an alt at all. You refuse, huh? You won't stand for it? You will not stand for it, huh? F3 is interesting. Okay. Some new sauce from Sir Longcastle here. Interesting. Okay, I guess we'll go for D5. I had to really think about this one. It's like, what's going on? D5. Thanks for the 6 months, Soto. 4 months from The Face. The Face. 3 months from Roy Lowry with Prime, and Enzo222, thanks for the Prime sub. Here's Enzo. Always an enjoyable battle in this opening. I like the position for white. 2 bishops, like, seems to have a very good outlook. Dangerous C4 player. Guess we keep the queens on for the moment, although I'm not sure we can force that to stay that way. Lots to calculate here. Got loose pieces. Obviously wants to castle, but not sure that's playable. Well, that makes sense. Let's go here, because I'm actually threatening something. So we might need to see that. And then knight c6 makes some more sense. Bishop back makes sense. Knight on c6 feels like the wrong square for that piece. So Not playing the obvious move. Okay. GG, Sir Long Castle. I thought bishop g5 instead of ed5. That's probably my main commentary on the game. I definitely think I should play h6 and then go for this plan. Because bishop g5 seemed very stressful to deal with. And it's possible that maybe you don't need to take and you can go bishop g5 now, but take and bishop g5, that was okay. I'm not exactly sure here. Hey, what's up, Bucko? I am playing DJ today. It's good to see you, Bucko. I was just reading your earlier message, actually. You never caught us yet on Kick, is that right? Because if you're looking to check us out on Kick or subscribe even, almost everything works better on desktop, on the browser. Sure, the face, I can give you the link. It's a new set I'm trying. Here you go. This is what I'm listening to right now. But happy to pause for DJ requests as well. Certainly. But yeah, hope you find us there, Bucko. I don't know how long you're hanging out today, Bucko, but probably going to switch to Kick in a few hours. And tomorrow, I might start, maybe do something like the early Title Tuesday on Twitch and the late Title Tuesday on Kick. So if you're around tomorrow, then we should be there as well. Schroeder, no, we're not stopping in Copenhagen. Not on this trip, at least. Kronos, I'm probably going to do it literally right now. Kronos null, so not only should you hang around, because we're going to do a little bit of exactly what you were looking for, but yes, most of the streams happen on Kick, so send us a follow over there. Look forward to seeing you. Tal58, 20 months with Prime. Thank you, Tal. Pino Chatelli Tours, thanks for the 13 months. You also now got your answer. Name of the set, there you go. Orwin, tier 3, 89 months. And you got your roommate into chess. Let's go. Into chess, brah. Thanks a lot there, Orwin. I appreciate you, buddy. Orwin has been around almost 90. Thank you so much, Orwin. Cassieman TV, 20 months with Prime. Good old Tesh. It's worth spending $5 to say. Blubs. Yes, it is, homie. Yes, it is. Always worth a $5. A 5 spot. Now, we've done something in the past. I don't know if you guys remember, but we've done some song requests, and we always say, you know, send the Spotify link in with a donation message. But Bucko Bonsai has donated $150. And he's looking for the chat to play DJ. So that's 10 songs worth. And I'm just going to take them from the chat. So throw your song suggestions in the chat. But they have to be a Spotify link. Gotta be a Spotify link. I will be adding them to the queue. So we will pause this great music and hopefully be replaced with even better. With even better. Let's see here. You guys already got the set anyway. Okay. Thank you for the links. We're going to make a queue here. Okay. Songs from the chat. Thank you very much, Bucko. Eventually, the queue is going to fill up. So I can't say that everyone's going to get their song in, but we'll do our best here. Getting 10 songs from the chat. You guys sometimes hit, sometimes miss. There have been some bangers suggested by the chat before. There have also been some monstrosities. You know who you are. So let's see. Any genre? Yeah. For the most part, any genre. It is carte blanche. And this is the first one, by the way. Chad is already in the DJ booth with this one. Okay, adding a few more. Working our way up to 10. Okay, I think we're pretty much there. Maybe one more. Thanks again. Thanks again, Bucko. Exactly, TH Toaster. Real ones will remember that. All right. We got enough, guys. Thank you. We might even have more than 10, so we're all good. Thank you for the suggestions. Castling is for betas. 33 months, tier 3. It's a lot of threes. Thank you, Castling. Cheers again to Bucko. Make sure to always let your opinion be known whether you like or dislike the song. Because we want to both give appropriate credit to those who deserve it, you know, for a certified slap. But we also want to criticize and ridicule and ban those who have selected an absolutely awful song in the DJ booth. So make sure to voice your opinions loud and proud. Gringo Bandito, thanks for the 35 months, almost 3 years. Flagcuz 420, starting the 3rd year, 25-month resub. And thank you to 63-month Million 30. 63, only 6 months away from the only reason people sub to this channel. Thank you, Million 30. Exactly. We criticize so that you guys improve your suggestions for next time. Thank you for the warm-up games, guys. A few people have been asking me, what are we doing next? I am going to switch my account, which is why I am going to the camera scene right now. We're going to play some slow chess games. God bless our viewers from Chess TV as well. God bless Chess TV. What do we think of this song? It's got a little bounce to it, you know. Differential forms. Hey, buddy. We're not going to see you in EU, are we, differential forms? Huh? Huh? Thank you for the 5 subs. Differential forms. Appreciate that. I figured we might not catch you. I'll have to see you at the next one. The next Chessbrook camp, right? Gotta book you in advance. You're a busy guy, you know, schedule fills up. Sounds like a lot of fun, though. Colombia, enjoy, enjoy. Appreciate it, Brandon. Appreciate it, Brandon. For a month, holy cow. All right, we added Brendan, but we're done. The songs are done. The songs are done. The last one we're gonna add is for our buddy Differential Forms, but I warn you, Differential, there's a queue in front of you. We just had like, well, maybe you were, I don't know if you just joined or not, but we just had like 10 songs queue up, so we'll add them to add it to the queue. When are you getting some Slowbrah content? Did you just join? Buddy, I literally just said what we're doing right now. I said that's what we're doing right now. Let's make sure we got our music good. So yes, we are going to do some slow chess. Hope you guys are ready. Yeah, Josh, we were getting some things ready for the trip, the EU trip. So we actually snagged the main camera for all the high quality stuff. We were testing it out, so that's why, which is exciting. But that's why we're looking a little grainy right now. Songs have been pretty good so far. Nothing like, oh my god. But in my opinion, good. It's good that you noticed, Joshua, you know? Tells me you're paying attention. Oh, I'll do it again then, Tommy. Just let me know if that was good for you. Kian, what's that? Prodigy. Is that someone performing? Never heard of Prodigy. Nope. Nope. Truthfully, I haven't. We're always serious on this channel. We don't joke around. Is the food better in Toronto than Ontario? Is the food better in Paris than in France? I'm curious because I'm going there, you know? I want to know. Hello, Kimchi. Do you know that we can do marbles from kick now? That's been a recent development. Very exciting. Well, here comes a song request. Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm excited to listen now. It will be in a queue, so it'll be a bit till we get there. But the song is in. Prodigy. Okay. Does Kick have band functionality? 100% yes. And we have banned someone from Kick. And we have banned someone from Kick for marbles. So we've had some firsts there. You might be right, Edium. Yeah. Who is the first ban? That's a good question. Does anyone know? That's some Kick trivia. Bats go. Thanks for the raid. Really appreciate that. Get a shout out in here. We're just about to do some slow chess. So the timing is fantastic, honestly. Damn, bats go. It's just playing Go. Okay, okay. I think chess players are naturally decent at Go. Nowhere close to actual Go players, but we have a clear predisposition. I've played Go a few times. When I was in school, there was like one of my teachers. One of my teachers in must have been like grade 9, so like one of my high school teachers. Sometimes I'd stay after school for like 30, 45 minutes, and we would play games of Go. Because he knew I played chess, and he was quite good at Go. I'm not really sure, because it was a long time ago. I couldn't tell you like how good he was. It wouldn't have meant anything to me at the time, but he would win most of the games. But he was kind of teaching me how to play it. It was pretty enjoyable. A lot of very similar elements, of course. Do I actually play chess? Yeah. We're just beating everyone. Alan y Quattro. Thanks for the raid as well. Appreciate you, buddy. Does anyone want to own up to this song? I have the receipts, so you may as well just own up to it. You apologize on behalf of all Germans? You had 400K on TikTok, Alan? That's impressive, dude. We're trying to get better at TikTok. We'll probably have a lot to learn from someone like you. No joke. Slowbrah. I think it was cuz. Yep. I do. Tainting the name. Alright. Done my food. Break over. Time for chess. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm hearing that too there, Harry Osborne. Just a little octopus, thanks for the 7 months with Prime. K Wingard, look at that. 10 kick subs. Oh, sorry, we're on Twitch. Thank you for 1 sub. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. You have to sub shame everyone. Appreciate the support, K Wingar. Appreciate the support. We're about to do some slow chess, so I hope you're into that. If you're not, you came at a real bad time, unfortunately. We've got DJ songs in the queue from the chat. We have some awesome support from K Wingar and many, many others today, including Bucko Bonsai. Let's play some slow chess here. I'm done my food. That's what we were waiting for your streamer to, you know, get some sustenance in there. All right, hopefully the songs improve, because if I start losing games, I'm going to blame you guys, for sure. This is already built in. But we're going to play some 15-minute games, 10-second increment. I always like to ask and invite you guys to suggest openings. Ones that you play, maybe that you'd like to learn more about, you'd like to see explained. And I'll do my best to try to play them. All right. Good luck, us. Let's get into the game here. We're at 950. Got the black pieces. What do we like here? Okay, d4. I'm going to start with knight f6 because it's very flexible for a lot of the suggestions. Based on this opening, I still think we might be in London territory. We could see bishop f4 next, so I am going to play g6 here, and we'll see whether we go for king's Indian or like a Grunfeld kind of move. So knight c3 actually kind of indicates that with e4 coming, if I go for d6, I'm not really playing... Yeah, I'm not really playing a king's Indian anymore, you know? This is a little different. So I'm probably going to take this opportunity to play d5, stop the move e4 from happening. This will look like Grunfeld in terms of the setup, but it's also a little bit of a mix of like the Jobava London. Not quite there, because I'm not sure you would play knight f3. Usually you want to have maybe your pawn on f3. So my options here, I think, are bishop to g7. Could go a6 to stop knight b5. But honestly, bishop, g7, knight b5, knight a6. And we'll kick the knight out with c6 next turn. So I am just going to go here. Got our fianchetto set up. We want a castle. The only thing that's going to stop us, I think, is that move. And then we'll have to develop our knight to the side of the board, which sucks, but our opponent's also going to be wasting a lot of time just to make that threat. So we'll say we're okay with it. Queen d2 is a little bit more like it, you know. Understandable, understandable. Wants to play this move. Bishop to h6. So obviously castling is, you know, one of the first moves that you'd think of here. The other move that I would consider is knight e4, because knight takes, pawn takes immediately makes a threat, at least. Hits the knight and threatens the pawn. White can play knight e5 there, though, so takes, knight e5. I don't actually win a pawn, so important to keep that in mind. Apart from those two moves, I mean, could go a6 again, but if I wasn't playing it last turn, it doesn't make sense to play it now. Bishop f5, another move that comes to mind, maybe to play knight e4. And I suppose I could think about h6 just to stop bishop h6, but that one, I don't know. I don't know if I like that one. Because h6 is annoying in the sense that if I ever want to castle, I suddenly cannot. So that's a bit annoying. But if my opponent never plays e3, he's also going to have a weird position. Like, how do you not play e3 as white? He's going to have to. And then we can castle because the queen and bishop won't be connected. So honestly, many options here. I don't think I need to play a certain move. I think they're all reasonable. So we need to choose carefully here. We need to choose carefully. c5 also comes to mind. Thank you for the 70 months there, Frank. And welcome, Matt. What do we like here? I think I need to choose a larger plan, not just like what my next move is going to be. Because thinking one move at a time here is probably going to get me in trouble. I think I'm in a castle. Although knight b5 can be played now, I don't think it's as dangerous. And I think that my plan for the most part is just going to be a counterattack in the center. So bishop h6, we for sure could only expect after queen d2. I mean, is most natural move by far. We could go with knight e4 here, but I'm going to stick with the intention to just go c5 and knight c6, queen b6, queen a5, these kind of things. Okay, castle. Still, knight e4 stands out to me because takes, and now the d-pawn is a little bit loose. Taking here, knight c6. These moves all look good. So I'm going to start by taking. My opponent did not play e3 to reinforce the pawn, so for the most part, I think that's beneficial. Like, if the queen takes, obviously we take this free bishop. So that would basically never get played here. Knight takes, however, and yes, you maintain the queen on the bishop, but then you run into things like e5 and d4, and like basically every single pawn just keeps attacking the queen. So surprisingly, my opponent has done neither. Very bold strategy. Knight e4 looks killer here. Hits the queen, hits f2, which is a nasty square for the knight to end up on. And the queen has to stay protecting the bishop. So very interested in the move knight e4. Maybe just stopping to see if there's anything better. But yeah, it's almost for sure going to be knight e4. Yeah, like taking a knight g4 can also be considered pretty strong, but I don't think anything's beating this. Knight e4 with tempo. Not going to say no to that. So I think this move is forced. Stays protecting the bishop. Also does hit the c7 square, so be a little bit concerned here. Like knight takes f2, knight c7 does need some attention. So what I'm thinking here is that it's time to throw in an intermediate move. So if we play queen a5 and my opponent proceeds with the plan to go knight c7, then I think queen a2 basically leads to, well, close to a forced mate, if not just a very good position. So queen a5 and queen takes a2 is pretty attractive here. e5 is standing out to me as like, you know, we can disconnect the queen from this square. This will always be a good move. But after this, knight takes on e5. This is also covered, so it gets a little bit messy there. Not sure. Not sure if that's necessary. If we can get away without sacking this pawn, I'll be much happier. Knight takes f2 is plain and simple, but, you know, bishop takes here, queen takes d4. It's like, oops. Gotta be a little careful. Might look like knight f2 is the simplest, but I do not believe that's the case. Bishop takes h6, knight f2. Damn near might lose the game on the spot after knight g5 there. I don't know how I stop checkmate in 1, or maybe in 2 if I move the rook. So there are a lot of ways for black to get ahead of themselves here and maybe take. And I think that a move like knight c6 or a move like queen a5 is kind of necessary to play ahead of time. So even though this lets my opponent win a rook, I think that with queen a2 we get a very strong checkmate attack. So let's just do a double check here. Takes. Knight c7. Takes here. I think I'm interested in this. I think I'm interested in that. Knight c6 is a close second. Queen a5 looks very tricky, and I definitely don't trust my opponent's position to work out here. It seems very unusual. So I'm going to go queen a5, but knight c6, I have a feeling, is perhaps a bit stronger. Marginally. I think both moves are good, but knight c6, obviously with e5 as a threat. The only thing with knight c6 is it lets my opponent play this, maybe play knight takes d4. Okay. Well, we're getting the variation, the critical variation. So after knight here, we have options. If I play e5, immediately I win this knight. So that's already a good option. But I played this queen move in order to do what? Take here, because without the king being able to escape, the only move that I see after queen a2 is c3 or c4 because you need to make way for the king. And I'm not sure that's I'm not sure it's good enough. I think it might be dead there. So let's take on a2. Checkmate in 1 is the threat. Knight's covering d2, so it's quite annoying. C3. I think knight d2 was also possible. I would have taken it, I think. And if any piece takes, it'll be mate. And if the king takes, I think there's some e5 and queen a5 check to win the knight. But c3 was a little bit more what we expected. I don't know that this survives after pawn takes, though. Threatening checkmate in 1. And if you take, I think there's mate with queen a1, queen c3. So I think we just take here. White played the move bishop h6, remember? They went for the attack on me, as if I was going to get mated. But look how quickly, all of a sudden, white is the one who's, I think, getting force mated here. Probably many ways to do it, but I'm not going to say no to something forced. Queen a1 check, forced move king c2, and then still using this bishop and this queen, we just play queen takes c3, and then queen takes, or queen not takes, e2. There's only one square left, and we still have this bishop on the board. So, surprisingly, it was actually only 14 moves. The game kind of took a while, like it was a good game, but it was only a 14-move game. That was quick in terms of the move number. What happened? So we ended up here, bishop f4, bishop g7, queen d2. We decided to castle and just go for c5 and completely open things up, make it messy. But there are lots of other options here that we could have gone for, as we talked about. So I'm gonna look at what we did, which is castle, and we went for c5, which is a little ambitious for sure. But I think we would always get the pawn back, you know? Queen a5, not too worried about that. So I like c5, I think it's an aggressive option. The main reason that I liked c5 in this game was, if you look at what my opponent's trying to do, they're playing bishop here. And the most annoying thing for white is that they don't really want to take me, because then my king takes back and the queen can't reach the h6 square. So what white wants is they want me to take on h6, but I'm not going to do that. I know what my opponent's after. So I'm not interested in ever having a queen arrive there. Knight g5, like, that's a no from me. So if I'm never going to take this, the queen always has to protect it. And if the queen always has to protect it, white can't ever play e3. So that's just like a chain of events, right? The ripple effect. White can never play e3, can never support the center, so I'd like to attack the center and play e5 and then control it myself. White castles and is, impressively almost lost here. We take on d4. As I said, if the queen captures, very obvious, bishop takes bishop, game over. Knight captures on d4, then it's really, really annoying that we have these moves. e5, d4. I think it's a big advantage. And we see what he did. Knight b5. Knight e4, queen f4, and like I was saying, many moves here. We decided to go with queen a5. It looks pretty good. Queen a2 hanging, the knight hanging as well. And f2 is always loose. So I think white's just actually lost after allowing this. Like, the position never improves. Knight c7, and after queen a2, it's more or less over here. Yeah, c3 takes, and literally I think this is forced mate. So I don't think white could do much better than what he did at that point. But how did this start? It looked like kind of a mix of a London and Jobava London. We went for a Grunfeld setup. But when you're playing against this, usually white goes for a very quick queen d2, bishop h6. And I think a lot of people have trouble handling bishop to h6. Like, I think this is extremely effective against the large majority of the chat, whether or not you'd like to admit it. First of all, you should almost never ever take unless you're winning like a lot of material, unless there's a very specific reason. But no, you don't want to ever take here, because as soon as you do, you allow the queen to show up, and then once the knight shows up, you're in a position where you're faced with checkmate in one if your knight ever moves. So white can go ballistic, like e4, e5, like e4, pawn takes, knight takes, just looking to get rid of that knight and get the mate. And that's an unpleasant position. You can never remove that queen once the knight's there. You move your knight, and so it's very frustrating. So usually when people do this, you want to play around it. Open the center, go for an attack, bring your knight into the middle, and really force them to take you so your king can come up and guard h6 rather than taking them. That's important. You acknowledge? Not everyone does. Carvalmar, you step in forward, acknowledging that you would have been scared from bishop h6. I don't know if Matt's still here, but I think he was doing his show earlier, so thanks, Matt, for the raid. Just playing some slow chess. Frank Rutten as well, 70-month resub from Frank. Cheers, Frank. We're getting to the end of our DJ queue here. This is all from the chat. These are your songs. What up, Matt? Yeah, I saw you were talking about the Stonewall series. One of my favorites. Truly. It was really easy to play, really easy to do, and I think it was pretty easy to replicate. Would I have seen that mate if I had 2 seconds left? I'd like to think so. I'd like to think so. Can we stop with the rap? It's any genre. These are songs from the chat. You gotta take that up with your fellow chatters. Have a look at bishop takes, then queen e5 check. I don't know if you mean here or later. Probably here. Queen e5 check. I'm just wondering, like, your knight is hanging here, right? So it looks like the best you can do is like, well, you take here, you lose the knight. Or maybe I go mate you anyway. You take here, I go rook f7, and then this is hanging, that's hanging, that's hanging. I just don't think you're ever saving the position here. Even weeb songs might show up, truly. But if the songs are bad enough, people will face bans. So, gotta be careful. Queen takes d5. Why is everyone saying queen takes d5? How many things did I say I was threatening? 3. How many things are you defending with queen takes d5? Maximum 2. I said, I'm threatening your entire knight, your entire queen, and a pawn plus a rook. You can't guard it all. Don't be a hero. I'm Ocean Born. Thanks for the 11 months. Coming up to a year. Hello, KVX. Worm Slayer's 26-month resub, and Basil. Thanks for the 34 months with Prime. Eric Stottle. 5 months with Prime also. All right, we're going to go to the next game. There are too many incorrect variations, and I really don't want to ban all of you before you see another slow chess game, so consider me moving on to the next game in your benefit. I'm going to save you from yourselves. Yeah, you're correct there, your average, Dan. It does not. It's the only place in Canada it doesn't work in. What's this music? This is from the chat. This is why you trust me with the music and not yourselves. This is a perfect example. All right, we're jumping into another game. As always, I'll be taking requests. Let me know what you'd like to see. We got like a Grunfeld structure that last game. And honestly, that is a really common way for white to play. Just really quickly, bishop f4, London style, but then bishop h6, going for mate. So I still thought that was useful. Not an alt at all. Thanks for the Prime for 19 months. All right, let's jump into a game here. We got the white pieces. What should we go for here? Start with e4. Lots can still happen. Not sure what my opponent's going to play. e4, knight c6. Okay, that's an interesting first move. I mean, after your opponent does not take the center, it's very, very difficult for me to sit here and not tell you that d4 is the move you should do. You play a central pawn push, your opponent does a nothing move. Take the center. Like, there should be no hesitation. None. Okay, e6. So here's the thing. You want to be smart about your development. So I'm noticing a few things when I see the move e6. Some of us might be tempted to just thrust the pawn forward, but that gives a square to the knight, gives a square to the bishop. I'm not so sure we want to, give black these easy moves. It wouldn't be bad, but it does make me think, wait a minute, if I play knight c3, okay, bishop b4 might happen. Don't know if I need to allow it. But if I play knight f3, what's my opponent going to do next? Bishop b4 check? Terrible move. d5, I play e5, and black's playing a French without the pawn on c5, which is amazing for us. As soon as I push my pawn to c4, black might have stuff with e5, bishop b4. I'm a big fan of knight f3 because it doesn't allow that stuff at all. So no, I wouldn't be interested in bishop c4, bishop e5. Certainly not bishop d3. At f3, the most flexible move in this position by far, because we don't give anything away. All right, knight f6, e5, as you can imagine, is super tempting here. Hitting the knight. Pretty sure that's what we're going to do. One thing about bishop d3 in these positions is, you know, you go bishop d3, and they can hit you with knight b4. Right? So bishop d3, knight b4, and if you move that bishop again, you lose the pawn. So for that reason, bishop d3 is not a very desirable move. So e5, d5, two moves I will definitely be considering because I don't see a black pawn in the center of the board yet. But my pawn's also attacked, and I do see a really easy way that I can defend it, which is knight d2. I'm probably going to choose these ideas that don't commit anything and don't put my pieces on vulnerable squares. So I'm going to go knight d2, defend the pawn, and it's like, what's going to happen to me? d5? I'm always going e5. If black plays d6 and just sits there like that, I mean, that is a super passive setup. I'm not that scared of it. So that's exactly what I was expecting. And he is probably going to have to do something like that, but that's pretty much exactly what we want. Probably c3. You know, bishop out, castle. And he's going to bring his bishop there. Makes sense. Time to develop. Okay, we got a nice solid game here. Castle, castle, but I mean, ultimately, whose position do I prefer? I'm probably going to be biased towards the one that, simply put, has a little bit more space. Knight d2's blocking the bishop. No lies were told there. No lies were told. But the knight often reroutes, let's say, f1, g3, or knight c4, e3 in these openings, so I don't think we're ever too concerned about that. Oftentimes, this bishop will just sit there, you know, for a large part of the game, actually. So after e5, pretty much only two things on my mind. h3 to prevent the bishop from getting out there. Does make a lot of sense. d5 I don't really like. I'm going to try to keep the position open. But the other move would be pawn takes on e5. And then my knight could go out to c4. So in general, if I want to move this knight out of the way to move the bishop, knight f1 is always an option. But it does end up on a square where it doesn't really have a lot of prospects. Knight c4 is the other one. So it'd be between these two moves. Question is, do we want to take first or play h3? I think those are the only two I would really consider here. d5 is not a huge blunder if you play it. It's not like, oh, you can never play that move. But I don't think you want to close the position because our opponent is playing in a way where, guess what? He's going to move the knight. He's going to play f5. I don't think I want to allow that, at least not that easily. So I'm thinking of taking, say pawn takes, knight c4, hit the e5 pawn, and go from there. Other idea would be just play h3. Right, make h3 the slow move that, you know, just doesn't let this bishop develop. Right, restricts the light squared bishop pretty nicely actually. So I might end up playing both. I'm gonna choose pawn takes on e5. My bishop's attacked, so you can imagine I definitely need to reroute things. This guards my bishop, opens up my other bishop. And I'm not even sure you could really say that I'm threatening this pawn because there might be some tricks for black, but I think I am. I think I would take on e5 here. Rook e8. Solid, solid. I think it's an h3 angle. I like the look of h3. So stopping a number of pieces from using that square. This bishop at some point might need to drop back to f1. This knight, if needed, can drop back here, like, I don't know, b5. We can drop back to e3, have a pretty nice square. a4 in general is a very useful move here for white against this exact thing. So because he's launching the b pawn just straight at me without even moving the bishop, not only am I intending knight e3, but I also am going to be attacking this pawn after I move it. So we're hitting b5. e4 is defended for the moment. If a6, can also consider a4. Knight back to d2 would be a very questionable move because we would immediately drop material. And b5, b4. So if there's one thing that I'm noticing here is it feels like my opponent's position is slightly overextended. Just looks like a lot of pawns very far away from one another, whereas mine are pretty compact. Got these guys back home. You got this guy all the way up there. It's a lot. Looking at bishop to b5 here. Yeah, bishop b5 is looking strong. Why is it looking so good? Because I think it immediately makes a threat of pawn takes b4. So bishop b5 is the main move I would consider. Having a look at other moves, though, none of them really do what bishop b5 does. So it's a pin, and it's attacking the knight on c6. Takes here. Knight takes e4. Another move is queen a4 to put some pressure on this pin, right? Just add even more pieces to that pin. It looks very tough to get out of that pin. Like it does look like trouble. So I'm a big fan of queen a4 here. That's free material, so I don't know. There's like these three moves that all guard the knight, but they all seem to have something wrong with them. I have the d file I'm going to take next move. Rook e6 seems to walk into all sorts of moves. And, well, if I'm seeing pawn takes on c3, then the position's already winning, right? We win a piece here, and I don't think this is relevant. So let's take our plunder. I don't think that my opponent really had a good way out of that. Definitely had better moves than what was played, obviously, but still, I think I was doing well there. Okay, the queen guards the pawn. Also ready to take back. Take here. We're going to recapture, of course. We're up a piece. That's got to be enough here. free pawn. We'll bring the rooks, target the weakness on the open file. Semi-open file, bring the rook to the wide open d file. Something like that. Knight d5, bishop e5. Anything to get some trades in. Understandable. Rook e6. Wants to hit my queen here. I like the queen guarding this pawn, so I'm just going to retreat to c2. Guards my bishop. Guards my pawn. Still attacks the c pawn. And rooks to the c and d files. Obviously, life becomes a lot easier when you have an extra piece. There's no doubt about that. This is a threat. Easy to miss bishop c7 or underestimate it. Despite it being easy to miss, he did not. Rook d1 seems like a good place to start. We could always go here and pressure this pawn, but if it goes to c6, I'm not sure we're actually ever going to get it. So I like rook d1 because the idea seems to be knight to d5. Knight d5 trades some pieces. What my opponent wants to do, I think, is this move. Queen e8. Hits the bishop and, tries to hit the material behind it as well. I'm going to do something that I believe makes my life a lot easier. I'm just going to play knight d5. If rook here, queen there, knight d5, then I don't like the fact that there's rook takes e5, right? 2 pieces for a rook. So I'm actually just going to do it right away. Because now if I can trade both minor pieces here, believe me, doing that in a heartbeat. These 2 for these 2, done. I have an extra piece, so easy to win that. Now rook takes e5 does not quite work. And knight takes d5, totally playable. We're going to take back. And although we actually lose a pawn here, I think we win the game in much easier fashion because we just have an extra knight against nothing instead of this middle game full pieces. So I'm truly not planning anything crazy here. I'm just planning to trade. Yes, I am losing a pawn here, but I'm okay with that. Sometimes it's like, if I can give up a pawn and trade a couple pieces off the board and still be completely winning, that's a pretty good feeling. Takes. We're going to keep the theme of trading every single piece. Let's bring the rook to the middle. And, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I would much prefer to have this position. Yes, missing 1 pawn, but it's just 3 pieces against 2. It's so much more relaxing to play this. Queen d5. A good move. I'm going to continue like this because I actually want to bring my rook to c5. That will put all the pressure on the c pawn. He'll be stuck defending it. And then eventually we can work our knight in to also join the attack. So yeah, this is what I want to do here. And you see, I've got both his pieces tied down to one single pawn in this position, which is a nice feeling. Okay, is there a particular threat here? After queen d1, definitely not. So we're just going to go ahead and take. I still have queen c3 if I need a check of any sort. I have, of course, h3, which gives me that escape square. That's why I'm not concerned about queen d1. Otherwise, queen d1, obviously, would be quite bothersome. That would need an answer immediately. So we've already reclaimed the pawn that we gave up in order to be here. So I think it's already shown itself to be the right decision. A7's hanging. I'm happy to trade queens. I'm happy to trade rooks. I'm happy to trade anything here. Like I said, no objection. Take, run our king. Now this is a pawn that's attacked. I'm also one step away from bringing the knight in and taking here. Yep, this looks pretty nice. All right, pawn to h5. I think it's time to go for the f7 pawn now. So let's go knight g5. Rook takes here is the idea. Yeah. And essentially, rook takes f7 would be checkmate if the pawn was on f4. Like if the knight was protected, rook takes f7 would be mate. Of course, f4 covers e5, the escape square, and defends the knight. So it's kind of a superhero move here. And if king f5 to try to run away, it's still checkmate. Still can't use those squares. And that's a mating net. There we go. GG. It really came down to the free piece earlier. But I will say I truly think that openings where you don't take the center are to be avoided. Right? This is not a position I would like to see most 1000s playing. So e5, d5 are great moves here. They really are. But the reason I chose knight d2 is I was trying to make a point here about just having the center, having the space, and how pleasant it is. Okay, rook e1, e5, takes, knight c4, and I just think white's slightly better here. Black hasn't made a big mistake so far, right? No big mistakes. In fact, I think my opponent has played kind of well and did play kind of well in the game. We decided to play h3, b5, a little bit aggressive after b4, bishop b5. So what should my opponent have done? Probably here, the move knight h5 is needed. I think black needs to defend this like that, and maybe even on the previous turn, have played knight h5. The knight wants to come to f4 as an idea. The knight on c6 is really bad, which is why I'm enjoying my position, right? It's got nowhere to go. So also here, I think black should take with the knight. No question about it. The knight on c6 does not make a good impression. So black not playing knight h5, and then just overextending with the b pawn. Now bishop b5 happens. You don't trade queens. Suddenly queen a4, and black's lost. If you want to go rook here, well, I have knight g5 waiting for you. Rook d6, I have knight c4. Right, I have bishop c4 as well, but knight c4 looks... This is over. The rook can't keep guarding the knight. Queen d7 is probably even worse, right? Rook d1, and eventually this queen will be forced away from the knight that it's defending. Right? You can't stay there. You got to play queen e7. You lose a piece all the same. So after queen a4, I think here you lose a piece or you lose the exchange. You're losing something. And yeah, once we win this, the game is very easy. Yeah, and I just think knight d5 makes life a lot easier because black probably has to take and do this, but they know it's hopeless. They're down a full piece. Bring the rook in, and the conversion is pretty straightforward, honestly. So easy to win up a piece. Still, I think the technique was pretty good. Win the pawn, and then set up this mating net. Knight g5, f4. So we won probably about as efficiently as possible. But openings like this, starting with knight c6, e6, d6, knight f6, you're getting no space for yourself. So hopefully, those are not openings that you guys decide to play. I do not recommend them at all. I don't think so, Tactical Trickle. a6 at pretty much any point seemed to be well met by me taking my opponent's rook or queen, so... You know? Seemed like a pretty clean game. Thanks to Neil. Don't know if we still have a Neil, Soldier Neil sighting in chat, but thank you to Valab for being sub for 5 years. 60 months from Valab. Thank you so much, buddy. MLP Twilight also gifted us up to MLP Nix. Oh, so MLP, what's going on here? You got a clan or something? You got buddies everywhere. There's MLPs on MLPs. What am I missing? It's a cult. It's like all the Michael Hawks. But it's good to see you bringing more MLPs. We enjoy the first one so much. Don't mind if they multiply. Davy Jones, thanks for the 6 months with Prime. That guy that could, thanks for 28 months. RLB improving. 47 months with Prime. Rooftop Felon, a couple years with Prime. Thank you, Rooftop Felon. 2 to be exact. Kinda Young Dave, it's great to see you, buddy. I was actually watching a movie, Dave. I didn't realize you were starring in it. Has anyone seen that new thing on Amazon Prime? I think it's on Amazon Prime. It has Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's awful. You guys probably know which one I'm talking about. It's like a war type movie, military movie. Jake Gyllenhaal. What is it? The Covenant. Yes, The Covenant. The Covenant. Yes. Awful, first of all. So The Covenant is very similar to another movie, which is in theaters right now, called Kandahar. Very, very similar, but it was like a truly atrocious. It was an awful, awful movie. Basically, and this isn't even a spoiler. This is practically the synopsis. Kandahar is trash. No, don't get tricked into watching Kandahar. It's a movie where they have like minimal action scenes, and for the most part, the two movies are identical. Kandahar and The Covenant. It's like some guys like basically there's one military guy and one kind of like citizen from the like a local who's betraying them and helping out the military guys. And it's those two, and they just travel across like the entire, they span the entire country being like chased. And it's just so cliche. It's so like they're trying to do all these like weird emotional like side plots. No one cares. There's not enough action. It's trash. And it's exactly what The Covenant is. It's literally like a local guy just carrying around Jake Gyllenhaal while they like sometimes get into like crossfire with the Taliban. It's really bad. It's really bad. So I fell asleep watching it last night. Citadel, very similar. Very similar. What if you like to get emotional? You would be disappointed as well, Tian Khan, I promise you that. Extraction 2, I've heard it's not as good as Extraction 1, like by a clear margin. I haven't seen it yet. I will probably watch it because I really liked the first one. But I think you kind of just have to have a man crush on Chris Hemsworth, you know? And then it's fine. That's what I've heard too. That's what I've heard. So anyway, our buddy Kinda Young Dave, not sure he's in the chat. He resubbed for 30 months, tier 3. He was in Covenant, yes. His doppelganger. So it was friendly to see him there at least. That was the best part. Best part of the movie. 8 Cars Drive. We just finished a game. Just ranting about bad movies lately. Michael2288, thanks for the 7 months with Prime. Don't forget the Primes, guys. Nordexa, a year with Prime. Thank you, Nordexa. Stevil Ward 007, 23 months coming up to 2 years. Also with Prime, go figure. Tree Knife Slug, thank you very much for the 4 years with Prime. Tree Knife, appreciate you, buddy. You're a model Prime citizen. 34 months, throbbing deep meerkat meat, also with Prime. Look at these guys, remembering what it's all about here on Twitch, that Prime. If you have Prime, not only should you remember to come back every month and resub manually to the Chessbrah channel, but you can watch movies as bad as the ones that I was just ranting about. It's included. How exciting is that? Go Prime. You can't have that experience without Twitch Prime. Security. Thanks for the $5. What is this? Possible to challenge you to a game. I donate $50 if you win. Your 30 seconds against my 5 minutes. Security, what's your rating? Let's start with that. 30 seconds to 5 minutes, depending on your rating. Maybe way too tough or way too easy. We want to make sure people get a fair shake around here. Thanks for the 4 months there, Idan too. Look at that. It's all about the primes. See you, Venus. Trust me when I say I've not seen that. Yeah, 928. I'm being so serious when I say I have no clue and I don't want to. It's giving Sharknado. Yes, I've heard that, Buck81. I have heard that. Much better. Much better. Oh, I'll recommend a movie to everybody. The only thing that you can count on in life is Disney coming out with banger after banger. Elemental, 10 out of 10. Hard recommend. Certified banger movie. Absolute must watch. I don't need to see Jake Gyllenhaal getting dragged around Kandahar. Absolute banger. I'm just saying. When it comes to things like, what do they have? Soul, Coco, Inside Out, Elemental, Zootopia. I know, but these are bangers. Disney Pixar, yes. Soul is a great movie. I'm just saying, these movies are like animated. They're very, very good. I think they're very high quality. And they're reasonably entertaining for like a young adult, despite being completely suitable for children. Inside Out is awful. I'm sorry, but that you're incorrect. Inside Out is like an iconic movie. Inside Out is maybe the best of the ones listed. Up, yeah, I mean, buddy, those get you in the feels. Those get you in the feels. So anyway, can rely on the animated ones. Big Hero 6 is also good. But these are all like in the same genre, same vein. Yeah, but Omachi, what I will say is that you could say like current Pixar is very good in my opinion. Competitive with old Pixar, but let's say worse, maybe a bit. There's some very, very good old movies, of course. But think about the current state of other movies. We got all this garbage of Marvel, like what is this junk? It's like another Marvel superhero for like a new ethnicity, like every single week. It's like I'm not interested. I feel like the quality of movies nowadays is trash. Absolute trash. So for Pixar to even be like keeping up, or maybe slightly worse, I think they're doing very well. Yeah, I want to see that Purple Pixel. I want to see that. Oh, Amins21 says, play chess, please. And honestly, Amins21, I think I'm going to listen to you and play some chess because you've never in your life chatted in this channel. Ever. And you felt the need to type that. You've not sent one message, but then just the talk about movies has driven you to the brink. And I can tell that you're at your breaking point right now. You actually had to communicate that in chat, and that's a step that some people won't even take. So I can see you don't have long. So we do have to play another game. Okay. Or I mean, Amin's poor guy. We don't want him. Don't want him to be disappointed. Want to make sure he's enjoying himself. You'll drink to that, Blast Wave. Let's do one more. Another slow chess game. We're at 970 right now. All right, 15-minute game, 10-second increment. It's our slow chess series here. And as we've been saying, we will always look to the chat for suggestions of what to play. All right, so let's switch back to our, and thank you guys for the song requests. I believe they're done now. Let's switch back to our music here. Playing this set earlier. Curious how it ends. Let me know what you'd like to see me play. All right, we got the black pieces. What do we like here? Let's wait and see what the first move is. E4. All right, majority rules. Majority rules. Playing the Karo-Khan against Corey. Now, I'll tell you one thing, guys. When I see this, I know he's just itching to play that move. Just edge of his seat. But I'm really wondering, after I play d5, and of course, continue my Karo-Khan, what is he going to do? His Queen f3 is not an insane move here. But I think that he wanted to do this, and I've just ruined that for him. And so he may react kind of harshly here. So let's take back with the pawn. Not interested in trading queens yet. He brought his queen out. I want to leave it there. It looks like it's going to be a target for me. B3 is very interesting. I'm actually not quite sure what that move is all about. Knight c6 looks very normal. Could be e5 as well, just to take the center. I like knight c6 and d5. Probably those are the two moves that I'm about to play, honestly speaking. Let's go knight here. So, I mean, it could be bishop here, bishop here. Bishop b2 makes so much sense because you just played b3. It's like, how could you not follow up with bishop b2? Okay. He's having a long think, which is kind of surprising to me. Like, he whipped out these moves, but then now he's in the tank. It's like I definitely expected this one to happen. C4. Wait a minute. Are we still hung up on this? Are we still going for mate? Is that what we've come to, you and I, Corey? I didn't realize it was like that between us, you know? Going back to that old thing. Okay. So we know exactly what he wants to do. How can we use it against him? How can we use it against him? I mean, the first couple moves that come to mind, I mean, knight d4, of course. Knight d4 hits the queen, and it's like, if the queen goes back to d1 or d3, these are all very subpar moves. So, knight d4, queen moves, and then e5, that looks pretty good. Other thing we could do is take, maybe play knight e5, but okay. There's bishop e5 there. I don't think that's that good. So takes looks unnecessary. Knight d4 looks quite good. Knight f6 looks simple and good. But it's very hard not to play knight d4 here. The blunder margin is so high. Like, queen d5, mistake. Queen here, mistake. Queen here, mistake. 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 You know, the amount of squares that are actually playable are so few. And I would still go so far as to call this one a mistake. I know it doesn't look like it, but the fact is bishop f5 is going to threaten knight c2 on the next turn. And that looks like, I mean, almost impossible to deal with. So after queen d3, the move I like is e5 for sure, because we want to support our knight and then hit him with bishop f5 and knight c2. Probably the only other move I would consider here is pawn takes. If the pawn takes back, bishop f5 wins immediately. But if the queen takes, that's where I'm not sure. Queen takes, bishop f5. Or bishop e6. Yeah, bishop e6, then queen a4. Unfortunately, I don't think we're doing the damn thing there. Bishop f5. I'm kind of threatening also rook c8 there. Oh boy. e5 looks so good, but I'm looking at this, and the more I look at takes, queen takes, the more I feel like I can get knight c2 almost by force. Which looks so good. So, while I like e5, and I think it's so damn good, I'm interested now. I'm interested in pawn takes on c4, this bishop developing with tempo, or potentially the move that I'm gravitating towards is actually b5. As little sense as that makes. b5. Queen needs to go somewhere. And remember, the queen's squares to defend c2 are few and far between. Like, it's back to d3, it's c3, and it's c5. And we know that queen d3 will always lose to that, let's say. You know, something that's kind of interesting is... Okay, imagine this, right? Queen takes c4. Okay, so imagine this. b5. Okay, queen is hit. Queen d3. Bishop f5. Queen takes f5. It's slightly embarrassing. We're actually worse after that. Because after bishop takes b5, we have to lose our queen. So it looks like I'm winning the game, but I'm actually losing the game. What the hell? This guy only has one queen out, and that's so easy to fall for. That's ridiculous. Well, now we know for sure that taking was not better than e5. Like, that's so clear. Because the main reason I did this, I just told you, now has an answer. b5, bishop f5, takes, bishop takes b5, and I have to give up my queen. So, definitely not worth it already. I can tell you that. We're still better, but not the way we thought we were. Not the way we thought we were. So I'm still going to go b5. For what reason, I don't know. And I'm going to follow up maybe with this move. Here, e5, and then same threats. But I tell you, I wish I just played e5. But honestly, that's something that's quite possible to miss in a calculation, like a queen sack like that. I did not think of that at all until I got here. Then I was like, wait a minute. That's impressive. Okay, queen c3. Bishop f5 looks hard not to play. I mean, that's the move for sure. Threatens knight c2 and also rook to c8 to hit the queen again. Yes, we can play e5, but we're not actually making a threat there. So let's go for this. Bishop takes here, knight takes, queen c6 check, bishop d7. So we're covered there. Knight a3, good move, covers c2, and stops rook c8 from winning a piece. So, impressive. Rook c8 looks like the move anyway. Queen has to go somewhere. Queen b4 doesn't make any sense at all. So the queen has to move somewhere here. But nevertheless, it'll be nice to get this tempo. Tommy, do you want to explain yourself? Tommy said rook takes c8, bishop takes b5. Tommy, you and this guy here are the only ones. This is not a coincidence. Explain yourself. The evidence is in front of us. What's going on between you and Corey? All right? Because we just found your sock in his laundry basket. And don't try to tell us that that doesn't mean anything. Bishop b5 is an incredible move. Truly. I mean, we want to take it because it's check. But now, that queen is hanging every which way. Tommy has been Corey this whole time, huh? It's possible. It's really possible. So, knight takes here looks pretty good. You know, that's a move that'll always be safe. The knight can also go back to d4, but because we're not actually threatening anything there, I don't know if that's really the move we want to do. So, I'm still between these moves. Knight takes a3 is much simpler. Like, it's kind of stress-free. Knight d4 almost wants to say that the pieces are misplaced. I think I'm going to end up trading, because why the hell not? I'm out of material. Seems easier to deal with. The only thing that I don't really like is, of course, the bishop gets there and there's immediate pressure on f8. And if I play e6, I'm gonna have to deal with that. So that's the only thing I don't like about knight takes a3. And it may be enough of a reason to actually go play something else. How does this look? Yeah. I don't really like bishop b2, you know? This doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. So let's go for this. And while there might be a few different moves to play here, I think e6, just move the king. It's not really going to be a big deal. I think that should be fine. Why not knight d6? I don't really like knight d6. Blocks my pieces. Blocks my queen, my bishop. But it's not to say that knight d4, knight d6, knight a3, they're all good moves. When you're up a piece, you will have many good moves available. Oh. Well, he forgot that this move uncovered the old bishop f8 takes a3. The best possible way to develop your bishop, by taking his bishop. Oh, but this is a gift now. Thank you. Something for me here. Yeah, you either move the rook and lose your knight, or you take, lose the rook, and you also have to reckon with rook c1 check. Knight g7, for whatever reason, is also covered. And here we have an opportunity. Our bishop's hanging and the knight's hanging. What do you reckon we do here? Do we save our bishop? No. We take the knight and we lose our bishop, because we may as well take pieces off the board of equal value. That will always be beneficial. Bring our rooks out. Check the king. And I like g5. I think we want to corral this king. g5. Okay, it goes g4. It's very forward of you, Corey. Bring everyone to the second rank. Always a great place to put your rooks. Something will fall here. Plus, I've got a knight coming in. Okay. Hey, the pawns are, they're looking a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. How to identify a quick mate here? Of course we can take this, but wonder what the quickest checkmate is. Ooh, b6. Well, I'm gonna have to respond to that. Gonna have to respond to that. Now there, that's very helpful. Now we can take this. And what will be our fastest checkmate here? Takes here. Threatening mate. Oh, but he's taking with a check. You didn't see that, did you? Don't make the mistake there. Ah, there you go. You got the idea, universal. We can use our knight. Still on the board, still pretty useful. Check is the easy one. After this, rook, g1, and mate. Because our knight's guarding the rook on f2. Good game, Corey. Sorry, I should say Tommy. Good game, Tommy. Thank you for the 89-month Prime resub as well, Tommy. Hello, Fetus. Welcome back, bud. The votes are in, eh? We were here voting on what opening to play. Meanwhile, there were real votes going on in the world. Why am I playing classical chess, AW? What do you mean, bud? There's a place for slow chess on this channel. Do not think otherwise. Slow chess has a place too. Okay, b3. But what I was going to say about this opening was that if white plays knight c3, just out of curiosity, does anyone play the Karo-Khan here? What would you play against knight c3? Because this is a pretty interesting line, in my opinion. Knight f6, d4. Yeah, so you play knight f6, right? And then I respond to knight f6 with e5. And then you do, I assume, knight... You can't go here. Knight d7. And, okay, maybe I could consider e6. Maybe slightly interesting. Dubious, though, at best. Then after this, I'll probably reply with something like queen g3. And you'll play e6. But you'll be in this weird position where you can never, like, move your bishop. And it's kind of awkward. I'm not gonna lie. It's a weird opening system. But white does this, makes way for the knight. Pushes, like, the h-pawn up the board. Plays d4, sure. You'd be surprised. This is more annoying than it looks. Those who said d4, also a good move. I'll play bishop c4. You know, I ball in f7. What are you gonna play? e6. I move my knight. Playable. Totally fine. But, you know, white plays d3. Probably similar queen g3, f4, knight f3. Okay. It's interesting, that's all. It's an interesting way to play. So I thought we were going to get that. Unfortunately, my opponent took, which is a really bad move. And yeah, after this, black is definitely doing well. So I took. e5 would have been a great move. We played b5, second best move. And after queen d3, this is the line I was talking about during the game. It's like, imagine you play bishop f5 thinking, oh, I'm winning on the spot. After queen takes f5, ridiculous, white is better. It's like, how unfair is that? After doing nothing but develop the pieces to awful squares, move the queen the entire time in the opening, somehow we end up worse. Yeah. Take, e6, and from here it was relatively straightforward. So how did the Karo-Khan work out? Honestly, we didn't get a very good Karo-Khan game from our opponent. Like, I got someone who was clearly trying to scholar mate us, right? And if they're going for scholars mate, there's only so much I can do. I can't stop them, you know? I can't say no. I want them to do that because it's bad. The queen's developing. They're wasting time. They're not developing any other piece. But unfortunately, it's not super instructive like, you know, main line of the Karo-Khan. But okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Some games, people just play not a very good opening against you, and I think it's still useful to see how it's handled. Thanks, Rain Man, for the 11 months with Prime. Rafa gifting a sub to Amins. As hopefully our buddy Amins is satisfied with that game. Wally Renfield, 23 months. 3 years from King Spence. Thank you kindly. Big resub with Prime. Here's to wasting one more year. Default Drip. Thanks for the sub. Brand new one as well. Oh, it's happening, AW. It'll happen. We're moving up the rating ladder. Almost at 1,000, so getting there. Carl Snug, thanks for the 11 months with Prime. Mike, that's an interesting idea. Mike is suggesting marbles. That's a great idea, Mike. And you know what I was just thinking? We could play marbles from our Kick channel. That's a splendid idea, Mike. We could play marbles from Kick, because we can do it on Kick. That's a great idea from Mike. People have been asking for marbles, understandably, and we want to let people know that we actually can do marbles from our Kick channel. So that actually does sound like a very, very good idea. We said we were going to do one more slow chess game, and we did it. Right? I'm slow chess stout. At least for here, full Camille. I may give you 1 or 2 more slow chess games, but I think it's going to be on our Kick channel. It does, Arcade Riot. It's a little bit more work on our end, but the product is still there, and it does still work, and we're improving it day by day. Kick and marbles. It's a special marriage of ideas. Hello to Airbus driver. 3, 2, 1. We are indeed heading over to our Kick channel, Airbus. I hope to see you. You'll likely be the first one there, flying first class over to Kick. I will say that I hope you guys enjoyed our slow chess games, but I'm probably going to do 1 or 2 more Kick exclusive. I can do 1 or 2 more, but it'll be over on our Kick channel. I'm going to switch over there for the evening. Keep the stream going, keep the vibes going. Ready Brick, you'll have to come over to our Kick channel and find out. You know, the people who've been there, they don't necessarily want to let the outsiders know. You got to come experience it for yourself. But it's a good time. Gonna keep the stream going. It's Monday. Got Title Tuesday and stuff tomorrow, but we're not done for the night yet. But we are done on Twitch. So I hope you guys join me. I'm going to turn the stream off and turn it right back on over at Kick. !Kick. It's really easy to find us there. Kick.com/chessbra. We signed a deal and we streaming majority of our content over there. But we still do stream on Twitch, so you guys won't see us disappear. Nothing like that. The Kick streams have been fun. There's been some good energy there. Want to get some more viewers. If you haven't made an account, want to bring you over with us. That's where I'm going right now. So I'm going to turn the stream off and turn it right back on over there. All right. Good night, everybody. Good night to Twitch. But hello to Kick. Hope you guys don't leave us just yet. Join me over at Kick.